everyone, it is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace. I'm starting another new series because every time you look up, I'm starting a new series lately. I just be inspired to do random stuff at 3 a.m. you know, while I'm awake, so this is what we're going with, okay? So today's new series is called my top 10 palettes from, and I pick a brand and tell you about my top 10 palettes from the brand. I'm trying to decide if I should do an eye look with one of the 10 to kind of give you an idea or feel for the brand and what I like about the brand and whatnot. I don't know if we're gonna do all that yet, but I am gonna show you my top 10. I saw Angelica Nicholas do something similar to this with indie palettes, so I figured I should mention it because I have talked about it and I do watch her. I wasn't inspired by her though, it was just in the notes on my phone, and since it got busy with all the holiday releases I had to do, I kind of didn't get a chance to get around to this until now. So without further ado, let's get to it. So the brand we're gonna talk about today, I figured we'd start off strong and with one of my favorite luxury brands of all time. She is actually a self-made billionaire, and it is none other than our mother, Pat McGrath. So I bought 5 motherships. I have the 3 holiday motherships, and I have my 2 favorite quads from the brand. So let's get started. I'm gonna just do them in order. So of course y'all know I got my mothership 1 subliminal palette. This is actually the first Pat McGrath palette I ever bought, and she got me with my love of cool tones and a pop of blue. I said what I said. She got me with my love of cool tones and a pop of blue, and I'm not ashamed either. So look at this. Look how stunning and gorgeous it is. This is so a me palette. When I didn't even know what me was, I knew I liked blue. I've always liked blue in eyeshadow. If you all didn't know, blue is one of my favorite eyeshadow colors. I like blue, green, purple, and occasionally pinks and reds, but yeah, blue is it for me. So needless to say, this palette just gave it all because it has this shade that shifts. It's purple and then it shifts to like a pinkish blue situation. Then this one shifts to a purpley blue, and then this has the classic blue, and then all Mother's classic shades that she likes to use. And she had a black in every single one of these palettes. I actually own 1 and 3 of this palette. You're about to see 3 in a second. I was gonna buy 2 during this 40% off sale, but it sold out, which I was shocked about because since it's an older palette, I figured it wouldn't. But you know, that's the power of Mother. I don't know why I act like I'm surprised about the power of Mother, especially since people love her stuff and don't want to pay the regular price. I'm not surprised. I mean, I was kind of surprised it sold out because her newer stuff was on sale too, but it sold out because, I mean, at the end of the day, she's Pat McGrath. She's Dame Pat McGrath. So the next one I have to talk about is the Subversive. Now, it took me a while to buy the Subversive because I looked at it, I was kind of like hemming and hawing, like, I guess. And then I bought the mini Subversive, the one that she came out with I think it was holiday 2019. I bought that one, and then I was just like, But I finally just went ahead and got this one when she had a really good sale going. I think I got it for 30 or 40% off. So I was like, let me go ahead and just grab this palette because I have been looking at it for a while. It has some, you know, another one of those blue, purple shifting shades. And this has a nice little pink rose goldish vibe going on to it. And this is a nice pink peach iridescent type shade. So it has some shades I like than this one. So I went ahead and got it just because I felt like it was kind of more unique. And she hadn't come out with any, I think, motherships in a while. Or it was either that or I missed the mothership 4, so I settled and got this instead because mothership 4 is Decadence, if you all remember. And then she came back out with it during the Star Wars thing, and then she came up with Star Wars in one of the palettes you're gonna see because I bought all 3 of the mega motherships because I really love those as well. I think sometimes I like those more than I like the big ones, dare I say, just because I feel like you get a few more colors to go with it. But of course, y'all know I had to bring Bronze Seduction. This is one of Mother's most popular palettes. Like, I feel like this is what got lots of people who claim Pat McGrath wasn't worth the price on the Pat McGrath train, because she launched this when warm tones were still all the rage. I feel like warm tones still get more love than cool tones, but I feel like cool tones are starting to creep back up like they did when makeup was first popular on YouTube, and they're like, hey, we back. Scoot over warm tones. We need some space too, so you're gonna have to scoot it over a bit. But this is the Bronze Seduction. I love this green shade. I don't even like warm tones, but I had to go grab this one too. I just love the reds and the tones that she chose for this, especially this aubergine shade. Too bad it doesn't like work as well as I hoped it would, but overall this palette is stunning. When I think of doing warm tone looks, I think of this one for sure. And I don't really think about doing warm tone looks, but I think of this palette a lot when I think of them, especially in my luxury collection, because it's simply stunning. It's just stunning. That's why I had to bring it with me. Now, the last 2 are the newer motherships she came out with. So I brought Mothership 9 and Mothership 10. The ones in between, like the Divine Roses, is like, as much as I like tones like that, I feel like everybody else, like, she get on my nerve with it. So I wanted to bring some stuff that still excites me now. Like the Divine Rose 2, I was thinking about bringing, but I was like, I already got like 5 motherships. Let's like divide and conquer. Plus I had to bring some quad. I thought I had to do a whole separate video of top 5 for other stuff if I hadn't, you know, calmed it down. So I was like, we're gonna calm it down because I can't. But next I have the Utopian Dream, number 9, the one everybody was excited about because of this packaging. I mean, look, it's giving all the visuals of what we were hoping. And then she was like, haha, I got you, bitch. And you saw the inside, you were like, oh. So it's more of the same. And, you know, we were all somewhat sad because as you can see, this just seems like a corally version of Divine Rose with some pops of purple instead. And you know, people weren't excited about it. I still like the palette though. I really like this palette. And this is like a shifting shade as well. That's the reason I was gonna bring the Divine Rose. But since this has, sorry, Divine Rose 2 Artistry. But since this has the same shifting shade and it has some of the purples, and y'all know I'm more of a purple lover. And I don't really do that much, that many neutral tones that often. I feel like this would be a good one for me to pick. So this is number 4 of my 10 of Pat McGrath, the Utopian Dream. I still like it, even though it's not as exciting as we all hoped it to be. But the holiday palette for this year makes up for it. I actually want to pick the holiday palette from this year alongside this palette and put them together and see what I can come up with. Because I feel like the sparkles in here are way more special than the ones in there. Not that the ones in there aren't nice, but I'm like, I have to put this aside and use it with the Utopian, the Celestial Nirvana, which is the mega mothership for this year. That's the, I'm gonna end with the quads though. But next one I have is what, the Moonlit Seduction. This is Mothership 10. This is one she came out with this year. We usually get like one big mothership and like some other stuff throughout the year. So this one, again, I love the color story. I think it's really nice. To me, this seems like a more neutral leaning palette, like a neutral version of, what do you call it? Bronze Seduction. That's what it's giving me. So I kind of want to pair this with Bronze Seduction to see how they look. As you can see, I dug into that one immediately because that's one of my favorite shades in this palette. But I'm liking all these new shimmers going on over here as well. So this is a nice little palette. See, now I'm finding ideas of palette combinations to do and whatnot. So I actually have a video. I actually have some palettes over here to film a palette combinations video. So I might have to just mess around and film that tonight now too. I didn't plan on it, but because I keep finding all these palettes to put together, I'm like, I should probably just go ahead and film while I'm here. So that way when I take everything back, I don't have to bring it back again for another reason. So let's get into number 4. I guess this is number 6 or number 5. Anyway, number 6. So this is the Pat McGrath Mega Mothership Celestial Divinity. I remember when these first came out and people were talking about they didn't like the packaging and then the cardboard. But it's like, she's trying to give you a quality product at a lower price point than she normally does. So it's like, be grateful. I really like the color story of this. I know a lot of people didn't like it because they had already got the Star Wars, because she had released it ahead of time and people went and bought it even though they weren't supposed to. So people like me who actually waited till Mother's Day was supposed to didn't get a chance to get it. So I was happy about this. But the people that have Star Wars obviously weren't, because, you know, the colors came back again. But I figured she did that because she knew all her diehards might not get a chance to get it, and she wanted all her fans to have it. So if you didn't want it, she put a lower price point for the people who didn't get it. So I appreciated it. I know other makeup collectors like were upset about it because it was only 6 new shades, but you know, it's up to you to get it or not. I got mine and I was happy, and I was kind of glad I didn't get the Star Wars once I found out it was in this palette. So this is gorgeous. I like to pair this with the Jackie Aina and ABH palette just because they look so stunning together. I know you can't get that palette anymore, but if you have it in your collection, think about pairing it with this one because I feel like the colors look really nice together. And since Jackie has like more matte to choose from and it's more shimmer heavy, I feel like you get a better variety of shimmers to add to that palette. So that's why I really like this one. I like to pair it with Jackie's palette. So of course, like I told you, I got all the mega motherships in here. So we got the Celestial Odyssey next. This is the one from 2021. I absolutely loved this palette because she came out with a new shimmer formula in this palette that she didn't have in her other palettes. So that's what mainly made me excited about this palette. I was like, ooh, new shimmer formula. And I kind of like the packaging of this one as well, a little bit better than the first one because the cardboard feels a little sturdier, and then it has like the classic lacquer in the middle that we're used to from Pat McGrath. I actually made 3 looks with this palette and I was really impressed with all 3 of the looks I came up with. So if y'all remember, I did like a bronzy look with a nice copper shade to it, and I did like, I think I did the blue and the black look, or I might have just done 2 looks. I'm pretty sure it was 2 looks instead of 3 now I think about it. But I love this palette. I love the color story of it. I remember when it came out and like the leaked picture that had came out from Pat McGrath, people didn't like the way it looked, but once they got it in person, they liked it a whole lot better. That's how it was too when I saw the leaked picture versus this picture. I was just kind of like, it's okay, but when you see mother's pictures and get it in person, it's totally different. So I knew she wasn't gonna let me down with this one, but the one I am most excited about is the one from this year that we about to talk about right now. Girl, if mother did not come through with the palette for this year, girl, this Celestial Nirvana palette, oh my goodness, yes mother, you did all that. We've been waiting for years for Colorful Mattes from Pat McGrath, so I was just overwhelmed and excited. And it seems like this one got bigger, or maybe it's just wider. Yeah, no, it looks like it's wider but smaller somehow. Y'all see that? Like, because with the height of them, I don't know. Either way, I am so happy to have this palette because honey, it's actually on sale right now. So if you want to grab it, go get your hands on it, girl. I'm absolutely just enraptured by it. It is so stunning, and I like the way she set it up in rows, so it's like a quad for or a 6-pan for each one. Cause see, cover that up, you can make eye look with that. Cover this up, you can make eye look with that, and then cover that up, you can make eye look with that. So I've actually done that for you all in the video. I'll try to remember link my Pat McGrath playlist at the top, and then the recent videos on this, obviously, because this is the newest thing she's come out with. I was not a huge fan of the quad, I mean the 5-pans, believe it or not, but I think it's because they're really neutral tone things, and I'm not a neutral tone girl. If you didn't know and you're having to stumble across this video, I am not a neutral tone person by any means. And if I do more mauve or like cool tone smoky eye type things. So I wasn't too impressed with the quads, but this big palette right here, honey, mother is giving all that needs to be given, and I say thank you. So we only got 2 more little quads left, and one of them I feel like I just guarantee that anybody who watches me knew it was gonna be in here. Now this other one, you might be a little bit shocked by it, but again, if you know me, I feel like you shouldn't be too shocked by it, but you know, it's not surprising at all. So I got the Risque Rose quad. This came out in 2020, I want to say, and this is what she looks like on the inside. You get this gorgeous pink. This shade right here is amazing. Like, this is an amazing shimmer on the lid. It looks so stunning. You got this brown for your outer V and this for your inner corner, so you can make a full eye look, or you can do a simple eye look where you just use this on the outer V and this on your lid in the inner corner, and then use this on your outer V and this is on your lid and inner corner. So you can do at least a couple of looks with this, 3 to 4 looks I can think of doing with this quad. But you know, I really like this one, and this was the only one that year that was made in Italy. All the other ones were made in I think the US or China that year. So it's like, I know my stuff, because it's like that was the only one I was truly in love with, and then I read the back and I'm like, oh, this is the only one that's made in Italy. So the formula on this one is superb to the other ones, but I do still like it, and I do still think it's a quality product. It's just, you know, I mean, I still did think the other one's a quality product. The only one I didn't like on that was a Flora Fantasia, I believe. That was the other one that came out with it, because there was another one, there's another one that came out with it. I don't remember exactly. But the last quad I have to talk about, this is my favorite of all time. I wish mother would make more quads like these, but, you know, she being stingy, not doing so. This is the Bliss Astral Quad and Nocturnal Nirvana. So this was the inspiration behind the Celestial Nirvana palette you just saw. This Nocturnal Nirvana, and oh my goodness, like the shimmer in here is out of this world. I kind of want to use this with the Celestial Nirvana palette as well, just because, I mean, like, look at how stunning these shades are. These are blue, green, and purple lovers' dreams. Like, I feel like this is just a quad that you just have to have. She has another one called Ritualistic Rose that's really nice as well. So if you like those more rose tone colors, you might be more prone to that one. I have that one, and that's my second favorite one, but this is my top one. And then she had a more neutral one that I didn't even pick up, care to think about, look about, talk about, because I just told y'all I'm not big on neutrals. But this one right here is just the stunning, wonderful one to have. I have heard though from some people that the purple in here has like dried out and they can't pick it up anymore, so I feel bad for those people, because I was blessed enough to where that didn't happen to me. But if it had happened to me, I could understand your frustration and being mad, sis, because I'd have been mad, like big mad. So those are all of my top 10 palettes from Pat McGrath. I'm gonna go off camera and I guess try to give you an eye look real quick. I gotta figure out which palette I want to use. Let me zoom y'all in real quick. I might do a palette mashup and use a couple of them, so that way you can see the different colors and textures that she has going on in her palettes. I feel like that'd be a good idea. If you're curious what's on my eyes right now, I actually have on the Adept Cosmetics Minka palette. I believe that's how you say it, or is it Maninka? I'm not sure. I think it's the Minka palette. But that's what I put on my eyes right now, and I think I used one shade from the Nearly Natural palette from Glaminatrix Cosmetics. So that's what's going on with the eyes right now. And then I just used a what do you call that, a multi-chrome or dual chrome eyeliner to for all this lines you see going on up here, the ones from Kaleidos that are on sale right now, and put it in the waterline to match, because I wanted a little pop of green, because I have green on the lid, but I wanted like some green to accent the purple that we had going on in addition to the green in the crease. So that's what's going on with this eye look. I'm gonna go off camera, figure out which palette we're gonna use to make a look with my top 10 favorite palettes, and I will be right back. Okay, y'all, so here's the combination for my top 10 favorite palettes from Pat McGrath. I'm really feeling the eye look. I just combined the, of course y'all know I had to use extra sexual terrestrial, this one right here. I have actually this pink shade on my brow bone, and then this shade is in my inner corner, so that's what I use from this palette. And then I used all the mattes from the Celestial Nirvana palette. So of course y'all know I had to use the green matte. I was going for the more green pink vibes today, so I did this shade right here. I have this pink shade behind the green shade, and then I use this to dust into my crease. So we don't have too many shades on, but I wanted to use enough shades from each palette for you to get an idea and see how each one of them works, and why, you know, each palette is one of my favorites. So I figured the more palettes would bring in the mirror, and since she finally gave us colorful mattes in this one, y'all know I had to use it in the video with some of the other shades. I feel like this is going to be one of my most used Pat McGrath palettes, because a lot of times I don't like to really reach for them too often, because it's like I know I'm going to have a neutral V shade, I'm going to have to reach from another palette. And I used to like reach from her all matte Viseart palettes and just use whatever shimmers and other shades from Pat McGrath's palettes I wanted, because she had the special finishes. But since she's like made her own palette now with actual mattes and shit, with actual mattes that are colorful, I'm like, we're home free now. So I'm just dipping into that shade to start off into the crease here. As you can see, that matches my skin tone very well. I feel like you can hardly tell I put anything on. And you know, I'm here for it. So I'm just dusting all around here with quick and cheap light. This is a Sigma E40 Max tapered blending brush. I really like this brush to like just dust shades quick all over the lid that are my skin tone. Oh, I'm sorry, I dipped in, did I dip into something else? No. I was gonna say I dipped into another shade to dust in with it, but I'm thinking about the look I did before this one, sorry. What happens when you do so many looks, sometimes you forget what you did. Did my brush fall off? Y'all know brushes love to roll away on me, or just roll underneath my leg. Okay, it's rolling underneath my leg as usual. So now we're gonna take the green matte and we're gonna put that on my outer V. And y'all know me, I gotta make my cat eye shape. I always gotta make my cat eye shape. I don't know what it is, I just love that shape on my eyes. I'm gonna build it up, but y'all know I like to just blend out initially instead of building up and then blending out. That's just always been my way of doing eyeshadow, so that's what I'm doing. Day off from work today, so I took full advantage. I'm over here gonna be filming till like 12 or 1 in the morning. I tried to give Adrian some time instead of just rushing off over here to get these videos done. So I was like, I left the house at like 8 because they said it might be like raining really bad. And I'm like, I don't want to have to be stuck out here because it was raining. And I gotta come back out here tomorrow because the place I go to get my car fixed at is out here, and I need to get an oil change, and I need to get a tail light fixed. So I might have to turn around and like come back out in the morning after I take him to school to make sure I can get that stuff done, so that way I don't have to try to rush out here Friday after I get off work to do this, because I got a whole bunch of stuff to do, y'all. Anyway, let's go to this light pink shade now. So I just put this on top of the green after that, and then I get the glitter glue and cut the crease and, you know, get that done. This shade did take like a lot to build up, and then I felt like when I dusted it away pretty easy. So to me, that's the only downside about this one. But I feel like if I had put it on a white base and I was trying to put it over this shade, it would have worked a whole lot better. But I wanted a nice like green pink gradient, and then like the combined the green pink from the shimmer that shows the extra sexual terrestrial shade. Because if you all know, we know that that shade had green to pink and I think like a little yellowish gold in it. So that's why I chose to put the matte pink on and then just have that shimmer toward the front and have this extra dimensional type matte situation going on. So I like the way it turned out. It just reminded me why I love Pat McGrath. Linda, we use her palette some more, but I still have to rank all my holiday palettes. I've been waiting forever for the Lethal one to show up. I bought it on Black Friday, and it just got to customs in New York, so I still have to wait for it to get to Chicago. So I'm wondering if they came to Camera Ready after they initially launched on their website, and I should have just waited then, because I noticed other people already have theirs, and it's like I ordered mine around the same time. I'm assuming they ordered theirs, so I'm assuming they ordered from Camera Ready. And then when I didn't see it on Camera Ready, I just went ahead and ordered from their website. So hopefully it'll get here before next week's, because I want to have the ranking of my holiday palettes go up on Christmas Day. Love how I'm talking about this year, and you ain't gonna see this video till next year in 2023, but it's one of my concerns right now while I'm filming it, so you know, we talking about it now. I'm just lightly putting over pink. I'm trying not to put it too far over on the pink because I still want the pink to show. I just wanted to have like the nice shimmer gradient. So now, let's get into the palette we're using for the rest of the look. So, I'm going to put the shade on the lid, then we're going to put the pink on the brow bone, then we'll put the pink in the inner corner. And it'll be alright. So let's... I mean, look how the sun is. Look at that, y'all. Honey. I'm gonna have to go back in and build up some more of the pink now. I can tell just because I think I pulled this shimmer a little further than I pulled this shimmer, so I'm gonna push the pink a little further back just to make it a little even. But you know, that's okay. Let's get this pink on my brow bone now, girl. So I thought it would be fun to add more shades of pink, and at first I was gonna put this pink like in the crease and then just dust the lighter pink on the brow bone. But once I realized it was a shimmer shade, I was like, gonna put the shimmer underneath the brow bone. But I'm fine with the pink shimmer underneath the brow bone. I think it's like a unique look and touch to this eye look. And I don't really put shimmer underneath my brow bone that often, so I figured it'd be like a fun touch, and we can use more shimmers in the higher end Pat McGrath palette, so you can see how the different textures and finishes of shimmers work in there versus how they work in the Celestial Nirvana. I mean, Celestial Nirvana, which is why I'm doing the eye look the way I'm doing it, so that way you get more, you know, you get to see how the shimmers work in each palette for each price point. That's why I felt it was important to do it this way. And that's why I'm doing the Natasha Denona the Glam palette in this video, like as far as like the one with the face products in it, when I do the Natasha Denona one, because I'm going to use Metropolis, but then I'm going to use that too, so that way, again, you can have an idea how each price point palette works. So that's another thing I like to do my palette matchups to remind me that just because the quality of it was cheaper, or remind you that just because of the quality of something was cheaper does not necessarily mean it's, you know, bad. Now let's get back into these pinks, because I need to bring it out just a tad bit more. I feel like you can still see pink out there, and on this one you don't really see that much pink, so we want the pink to be seen, girl. She needs to be seen. She needs her moment. So I'm just taking this brush and then just dusting across here to bring back the pink in a little bit. Then I'll dust over with the brush that I used to dust the shade into the crease. A transition shade, just so we can dust the excess off the lid. So it won't be too much pink, because as you can see, it's giving like a weird grayish type cast to it, and I don't want that much, but I do want the pink to be seen, so I'm gonna do that, and then maybe go back in with a little bit of green. But usually I don't have to, because I put on enough pink here, and then I use that brush, and I brush just where I want it to disappear enough where you can still see the green, and then I might lightly go with the green just so you can have that reinforced, but you know, so it's cool. So let's pat a little bit of green and dust just a little bit. I'm not adding any green, I'm literally just dusting whatever that I'm going to brush with the green. Okay, y'all, so it's looking good, and this is our finished eye look with the Celestial Nirvana and Mothership to Divine Rose Artistry. So back you on up. But now do you see what I'm talking about why I like to put them together, and why these are my top 10 Pat McGrath palettes, or two of my top 10 Pat McGrath palettes we use. Because look at this, like I used her Bridgerton pencil in the waterline again too, because I got a few more eye looks to do. But honey, look at this, it's absolutely stunning. So The dual chromes look great. The nice satin shade on the brow bone is giving a nice touch. The satiny inner corner shifting shade is looking nice. And then the colorful match just blended out beautifully. So that's why I wanted to put these palettes together and give y'all my top 10 palettes when it came to these. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are dimes. I hope it encourages you to pull out your Pat McGrath palettes and play with them together. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.